This is Jimmy.
Nuclear launch detected.
Right on.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Retro, it's going to be action, it's going to be a light, it's going to be a TVT for you of incredible proportions. Top right, we've got action, the macro Zerg. Bottom right, it is a light, maybe the most consistent Terran player over the last 10 years. He is an amazing Terran player. He will not do sneaky strategies very often. He just does standard play, but he will wear you down with standard play. That is, I don't know, I think it affects other people's mindset, right? When you're playing against somebody who you know what they're doing and you can't stop it, it just is so demoralizing. So let's see if he does this to Action today. Action, again, an excellent Zerg player in his own right. He should give Light everything it can handle, should be an excellent TVZ. We've got an Overlord scouting the wrong direction. We've got Terry, happy to be back on another jungle map, Deja Vu, reminding us of Fighting Spirit. Yeah, I know, it looks like Fighting Spirit, but it's not Fighting Spirit, man. It is Deja Vu. It is a moderate proxy opening here from Light. It's, you know, just a little bit out here, so the Marines show up a little bit faster to the Zerg base, which can win you the game sometimes. So this is not risking very much. If it's cross-spawn or you don't find the Zerg in time, you can just lift up the barracks and just wall off normally back to the natural base. Already supply depot helping you out with that. So a moderate risk here. Overpool opening here, and yeah, this risk will not pay off. But hey, it's a moderate risk. You're not going to lose the barracks. You're not going to lose the game because there are lings heading towards your natural base when the racks are in the middle of the base, middle of the map. So yeah, excellent stuff here from Light. And hit that like button if you're excited to see if Light can handle action here today. Yes, I did see your comments, everybody. Last week was a big PvZ fest, but I did post a TVZ on, when was I posted it on Thursday? Yeah, I posted it on Thursday. So everything is fine. We're doing all right here. It was Prime versus Effort on Eclipse. It was a very interesting game with the modern Hydra meta from the Zerg player. So if you want to see it, let me know. I'll put a link to it in the description or reply to you in a comment. Hatch coming down. The SCV says, okay, it was a pool first play. Let's go ahead and just make a couple of Marines. Maybe we'll send them out and force a couple more lings out instead of drones. But we're not going to kill him. Oh, hang on a second. Another proxy racks getting started. In the middle of the map? Light, what are we doing here? What? I don't, you're gonna, okay, this is gonna be canceled. So this risk does not pay off, not in the slightest here. Action? You saw this, right? Yeah, okay. You saw this. Yep, canceled. Oh boy. Light, you're a little bit behind here. That was a higher risk play than this one. See, look, lifting off, walling off, everything is fine. If it was a hatch first, then the Marines would be across the map, they would be bunkering, and Action would be in trouble, but he went prudent. Overpool opening saves a lot of Zerg lives here. So, we've got lings out. We've got a lair on the way. Still no gas from our Terran player. Still no third from the Zerg player. We've got Marines marching out. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, they've got big boots. That is surely the case here. We've got metabolic boost on the way. There we go. We do have a sunken. Yep, a creep colony here to help with this push out, you know, and help with vultures. You don't know that Light doesn't have any gas yet if you're a Zerg player. And, oh, wow, canceling the sunken. I guess, it was going to be a little bit too late here. Dude, make some lings. We've got 2 more sets of lings here as well. We've got Light's Marines marching into your base. We've got 2 lings inside the main base. We've got 6 lings at the bottom of this ramp. Wow, we've got a Spire on the way. And pulling a couple drones just to make sure that these Marines are going to die. Excellent start to set micro, and bam. Down. That was weird. That was a weird move out by Light. I don't think he got much done. I think he killed maybe a drone. And killing lings, yeah, Marines are supposed to kill lings, but killing drones is where you hurt the economy. So we've got ourselves gas on the way. Hey, no real big surprise there. Academy, it's going to be an SK Terran opening from Light. And these two players know each other so very, very well. But again, Light doing a weird timing. In the opening, I spoke about how Light is just a standard player, but weird timing on those Marines. Maybe he watched Royal, right? Royal's the first Zerg player I saw that just sent out Marines whenever they wanted to. And you can get effective damage there. But not very effective damage from Light. Got an engineering bay on the way. We've got Mutalisks here as well. And yeah, hey, tell me what movies I should be watching. Right? I got some movie gift cards for Christmas from my loved ones, my families, and my friends. I know I like going to the movies, but there's nothing I really want to see. So, like, tell me, what's out there? What's at the movies right now that you've seen that you really enjoyed? I think the last movie I saw in theaters was it maybe Weapons? Last fall. It might have been Weapons that I saw. That was a lot of fun. That was a really fun movie, without a doubt. So, Marines, they're pushing, they're prodding. They don't have their... Oh, they do have stims. Stims done. Medics here, too. Academy finished. Mutalisks flying out. Lings here, 2 Mutas on the way. Not going to go crazy with them. And there you go. Now getting a creep out the front. The Mutas are going to be away for a minute. Turrets are done. Well, one of the turrets are done. The second one is on the way, but one was enough to keep the initial Mutalisks away. The bigger flock. A little bit scarier to try to deal with if you're trying to handle this many Mutalisks. Hey, picking off wounded Marines here. Picking off Marines that are on the outskirts of the group, just like hyenas do in the wild. They pick off the ones on the outskirts. They do not want to attack the entire herd. And attacking the entire herd gets them killed, just like these Mutalisks. So again, life imitates art. Art imitates life. It is a mirror looking back and forth between the two aspects here. We've got, oh, never mind. Range was the first upgrade here from Light. I assumed he had Stim because Stim is the first upgrade for Terran players 99.9% of the time. But it was range. Stim still isn't done. +1 flyer attack here. Third base up at the top left from the Zerg player. Got a factory on the way. We've got a supply depot here. We've got a second rack. It's not a mech transition at this stage of the game. But again, Terran players are always able to mech transition and catch the Zerg player off guard. We see it succeed sometimes. We see it lose sometimes because the Zerg scouts the mech transition and says, hey, what are you doing? And then heads over and kills them just like a carrier transition in TVP. Terran struggles with carrier transitions, right? And Zerg struggles with mech transitions. But if they scout them early enough, they can handle them. So we've got a full stack of 11 Mutalisks here. I think that's enough to go ahead and whittle down this Marine group to 0. Hydralisk Den on the way. Back home. Got a +1 finishing. Stim is done. And if you're waiting for this +1 flyer attack here, you're going to wait for a long time, action. It is a long upgrade. Queen's Nest here at 8 minutes. Yes, okay, we're doing everything all right here. Queen's Nest, Hydra Den, pinning the Terran inside their own base with Mutalisks with a +1 attack. I like it. Action doing everything A-OK with the playbook for TVZ here in 2026, man. 2026. StarCraft is still alive. It is still here. We love it. Starport, racks. We've got science vessels on the way. Do we see an armory? We do not see an armory, so it's not going to be Valkyries. It's going to be 2-port science vessel. And still waiting for +1, I feel like, before engaging for these 10 Mutalisks now. One is dead, but still, 10 Mutalisks with a +1 attack is very, very intimidating for Terran players here. There you go. Science facility. Still no sign of a third base being built here for Light. Hive on the way. Lurker Aspect on the way. We are scanning. We are seeing the Hive on the way. It's like, oh boy. Dark Swarm's on the way. Plague is in production too. Not quite yet, but you know Action's thinking about it. Floating the factory. Yep. No mech right now, but supply depot, not being supply blocked. He's almost supply blocked at 83 to 84, but only 62 supply for Action. +1 attack is finished. Yay! Look at that. +1 attack. Glaive Worms bouncing, hitting more than usual. Oh, one volleying down a Marine and a medic if you want to do so. If you so choose. Look at this Marine. He's like, ah, no, blah, dead. Charging in. We've got one sunken. We've got lurker eggs. We have a lurker egg here, but no lurkers quite yet. at the front natural base of action. Backside Mutalisks with no support on the front side of these Marines. They are getting killed, and they are killing in turn, but how many Mutalisks are there? Just 7. 7 Mutalisks with a +1 attack is not as dangerous as 11 Mutalisks with a +1 attack, and there we go. Finally, we have Lurkers stacked up. We are hovering over them. Third base, Lurker protected as well. We've got a Defiler Mound on the way. We've got Marines heading towards the center of the map for some reason. I guess they're all grouping up here. They're looking for Overlords, I guess, but this Overlord is protected, right? If you want to attack him, he can fly over here and be escaped. And escape. I know how to talk English. I'm pretty good at that every once in a while. Speaking English, a pretty good time. So what's the play, folks? What is the answer to the Dark Swarm, to the Plague? It's always Science Vessels. It always is. Is this going to be Hydra meta out of action? Is this going to be Ultras? Is this going to be Lings and Ultralisks and maybe some Mutalisks in production too? Who knows? But Light knows what you want to do here is do drops, right? Any drop ships out? No. Any drop ships in production? Absolutely not. So how do you break this, man? It's so hard to do. There's not an Overlord on top of the Lurker, so you can do some Irradiate here. A little bit easier than if the Overlord is on top. Trying to find this Overlord, but he's like, can you hit me? Can you hit me if I'm over the water like this? And the answer is yes. They get one of them. Is that a supply block? No. Action only has 3 available supply. Oh, and hang on. Oh, they can get him. Don't supply block action. He was making more Overlords. Don't even worry about it, man. Got some Scourge, got some Lings looking for drops. Got some Scourge, got some Lurkers, got some Lings looking for drops. Adrenals on the way. Still no sign of dropships, though. Light, he's making the Zerg player prepare for drops, and there aren't actually any drops. Light, what's the play? What are we going to do instead? Just make 1,000 Marines, kill Overlords out on the map as much as we can. This guy does have a body of water big enough to actually hide from these Marines on the shore. Mutalisks looking fancy as can be. They can engage, they can help the Mutalisks, or help the Mutas, and help the Hydras and the Lurkers as necessary. There's the Dark Swarm. Where are the Fire Bats? Where's the Irradiate? There's the Boxer maneuver. Wow, the 12-minute Boxer maneuver play. Right up here. Drones, Scourge. One of them dies. One of the Science Vessels dies. The other one is trying to Boxer maneuver a whole Defiler. He hides inside the night. It's very smart stuff by him. And nothing much else going on. Just kind of hanging out. Not really taking advantage of this at all because, well, there are 3 Lurkers inside a Dark Swarm. With, you know, some some sunken support there. Siege tank support for the Zerg player would be absolutely insane. Third base, 6 o'clock. Fourth base coming in from Light, bottom left. He is producing so many Science Vessels. And he's not dropping. He's just wandering in with the Science Vessel to scout. Maybe irradiate a Defiler that's in here. Maybe catch a Lurker. Maybe die to 2 Scourge for no reason. Yeah, that's what we got. All right. So, I mean, I got a scout off. What are you going to scout? Is there a Defiler Mound? Yeah, of course there's a Defiler Mound. I don't think anything here is going to surprise you, man. You know there's Lurkers. You saw those. You haven't seen any Defiler. No, you did see a Defiler because you tried to irradiate it to death. Well, Boxer maneuver it to death. Irradiating it would have killed it, and it's still alive. You're just continuing to harass a little bit, but it is Ultralisks. Okay, it's an Ultralisk cavern. Haven't seen Ultras attempted against a Terran player a while in the channel. Been a lot of Hydra meta. Ultras aren't very good against Protoss, so we don't see them very much there, but Ultralisks are one of my favorite units in StarCraft. They're good. They're not incredible. Yeah, they die a lot to siege tanks. They die to spider mines, and if enough +3 Marines are stim attacking them, they die real fast. So again, they are not as overpowered as things like, you know, Dark Swarm is, or Plague as a whole. And Dark Swarm in conjunction with Ultras is really dangerous. But man, once they leave that Dark Swarm, they're pretty vulnerable. They're pretty easy to pick off, which makes them not the best unit in all of StarCraft, which is kind of why I like them. I like my units to not be unstoppable and just kind of impossible to deal with. There's the Ultralisk Cavern. He scanned it. He saw it. Fire Bats are on the way. The nice thing about Ultras is they're really good at Fire Bats. If you're trying to get Fire Bats to deal with the stuff inside the Dark Swarm and there's an Ultralisk in there, the Fire Bat dies. Are you waiting for this Dark Swarm to wear off, or... He's certainly not irradiating anything. This... Oh, finally some drop ships at 14.5 minutes. He's going for it, man. Double dropship doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a pretty wide open area for action. Where is your defense? You have it up here, but not back here. Wait, is he responding? He's falling back. He's consolidating. He caught a whiff of that with this Overlord down here. Good positioning by this dude. Science, 4 science vessels, Marines, plagued. Every Marine is gonna die. Oh yeah, irradiating the Defiler, getting revenge for all of those dead dudes. But Scourge avenging the Defiler. It's just a cycle of violence here. As the drop is fairly well shut down by Adrenalings now. Science vessels getting sniped. That was just... wow, that was a pretty fail of a drop. It was a pretty wide open spot, but man, Plague plus Cracklings plus Scourge. Everyone's pretty dead there. Dropping back at, well, trying to drop back at the 3rd base. Top side here. And Lurkers and Mutas clearing that guy out. Unloading here. Oh, not quite getting that drop ship, but Cracklings on a smaller group of Marines like this is just not even fair. So yeah, dropships are going to die. Yeah, dropships get cleaned out. A couple drones got killed. At 68 workers, though. Light is heavily macroing at the moment. He's got 4 bases. 4 bases for the Zerg. 69 to 51 workers. This is kind of what you can do. Even if you don't get off successful drops, you can drop. Oh, Boxer maneuvering there with a natural base. Big fan of that. Dropping all over the main base of action is a dangerous maneuver. And Dark Swarm comes up. Are there some fire bats in there? I don't know, man. But the Mutas all die to Marines outside of the Dark Swarm. That's pretty nice. And then charging in. Wow, fire bats getting on top of the Lurkers. They're all stacked up. They catch the splash. Plagued up. Ultralisk is out. Fire bat doing his best to deal with the Ultralisk. Good luck. Boxer maneuvering the huge stack of drones that comes in to get away from the main base shenaniganry that is still happening somehow. Ultralisks are going to clean it out. But I mean, shoot, that's a 3-kill Marine. He's got some work done out here. I wish science vessels, we could see their kills done as irradiated boys, because they are getting some work here. He's irradiating overlords to death. Marines standing in, fighting against Hydralisks, but they don't even have upgrades. They don't even have upgrades, man. Scourge, jump it down. All right, that's a hold, but that is 31 drones remaining. The drone massacre here was big. The drone kill in the main base was also pretty big. Suddenly, Action does not have the economy to do what he needs to do here. He doesn't have it to make Ultralisks. He doesn't have it to even rebuild his Lings as the spawning pool got sniped out. He doesn't have money to do anything. He's trying to drone up by making 1 drone at a time. But this is a Light on a rampage. He's got double the supply of Action. He's got 4 bases to fall back to, building more racks in the bottom left. He is on a mission. However, comeback potential is here for the Zerg player, as always, with the Dark Swarm, with the Plague. Although if every one of these Ultras gets irradiated, that's a pretty good start to the engagement, I would say. They're not touching each other, so they're not going to die, but they will be taking down sub 50% health. Actually, this one took previous damage, so he is dead to the irradiate. Rest in pieces, little Ultralisk. Wow, do they run down here? Do they get dropped? 2 Ultras just kind of walk into the bottom left 4th base. And yeah, fire bats and bunkers are not very good at killing Ultras when they have 5 armor. You can out-repair it with enough SCVs. There we go. There's the out-repair. You're not going to kill the Ultras with fire bats and like a Marine, but you can stay alive, and staying alive is half the battle. Okay. Lurkers and Ultralisk. Dude, there's a Dark Swarm, and there's a Defiler. Of course there is. Alright, so now suddenly everyone's in big, big trouble. Light pushing in to the natural base, just walking through. 1 Ultralisk, not enough to save the day. Oh my gosh. Fire Bat roasting everything up here. Nidus Network down. Nidus Canal down here. Ultralisks trying to do their best to handle Frank the Fire Bat. He is getting healed by his medic buddies. Oh, he explodes. Bottom left is getting evac'd by Light. Uh-oh. Down to 3 bases the Terran player goes. Cleaning up the attack here, Action. It's still 70 to 32 workers. This is still not a really tenable position. And then, 32 drones? Is that what I said? What I meant was, no, the irradiate wore off. Oh no, they're boxer maneuvering without the irradiate. These guys burrowed out, so they're not even burrowing. Oh, that's amazing. Irradiated Ultralisks trapped on the wrong side of the mineral fields. Are they gonna... This is... He's trying to boxer it over, but he doesn't have the important part of it. And then the Scourge are like, wait, what are you doing? Okay, we'll just wipe you out then. That's totally fine. Ultras with the 5 armor. Not quite fully upgraded and working on it. They are trying their very best. Oh, yeah. Look at this medic positioning. You have to actually click on the medics to kill them to get through because the ultras will try to kill the marines behind the medics. That gets cleaned out. Still, 150 to 77 supply. Bottom left is dying again. All right, that's not good. A small group of lights units attacking up into the third base. Again, we can burrow, but guess who's got scans? Every Terran player in the history of StarCraft has scans. Oh, man, down sub 30 workers now, the Zerg player. This hatch is gonna die. I love that you're attacking an extractor for some reason. Irradiated Ultra is running in to try to clear this thing out, but it's 24 drones! 24 drones! Oh, and that's a GG action. Taps out another boxer maneuver. A successful boxer maneuver is getting set up here by Light, but he's won the game anyway. He's like, no, hold on. I want to do this. I want to get this off. And then he does, but man, what a game. This phase is toast. Light's still mining from his third and from his nat, but he doesn't have a lot of available income. 60 workers on 2 bases is oversaturated, especially if your natural is one of them. This base is not happening, but so many drones died. It's boxer maneuvering, right? It's dropping in the main base, into the natural base, in the third base. None of these bases were safe from getting dropped by Light today. He's everywhere. He's on top of it. He's just making action second guess where the Terran player is going to be at any given moment. The ultras were not the answer. I'm not sure Hydras would have done very well here either today, actually, considering how mobile these units were. Got the 2-3 upgrade. Ultras fully upgraded too. A good game on both sides, but this is how you have to kill a Zerg. You got to be on top of it. You got to be everywhere. You got to be in there and then out and at the top left and then at the top right. Oh, boy. That's just what we're talking about here. All Terran players are just standing on their seats, wildly applauding. Just very happy to see Light do this to action today. And just a good game. Just an overall good game. And again, this proxy, didn't really pay off, and neither did this one, but Light was able to macro incredibly well. Get a third base up, get a fourth base up, keep the pressure on the Zerg enough to where the Zerg got across the map once, and he killed a whole base. That's the danger of a Zerg across the whole map. But it wasn't enough in the end to deal and offset all of the damage done to the Zerg player up at the north and the north and the 12 o'clock and the north and the 12 o'clock. I don't know why suddenly I'm very Scottish, but I am. Anywho, good game. That's what we're talking about. Light pulling it out in the end. It got a little bit dicey for him, but he came out victorious nevertheless. 134,000 points to 122. In favor of Light. Light out producing action, getting out killed by action. Similar numbers, good for the Terran. Buildings raised 7 to 5. Resources here 42,000 to 35. Oh, Light outspent the Zerg player. That's a good way to beat a Zerg player too, is just spend more than the Zerg player has. Holy cow. Like, what a great showing from Light. This is why we like watching Light. I'm sure a ton of you saw this and you're like, oh, it's a Light Terran game. We got to check this out. And we did. And it was awesome. So good job by him. That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.